everyone, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. We are taking a look at the upcoming DLC. Luckily, Frontier was nice enough to give me a little bit of an early access and an early look at all the things they are adding to the game. And also, later, I'll be giving away a free copy of the DLC for anyone who wants to comment down below. There's no restrictions or anything like that. You don't even have to subscribe to this channel. I'm not that type of person that really puts limitations on those type of things. Anyways, there's a lot to cover, as you can see. I'm pulled back here. This is basically everything that you can put down in the DLC packet, and we'll just start probably in the back here and take a look. So these are the building pieces that have been added to the pack. A lot of kind of tin, retro, vintage kind of items that you guys are pretty familiar with in terms of art style, right? So we got the classic kind of clown, fun house look to a lot of this vintage tin walls and very art deco kind of stuff going along here. And it's just overall, in my opinion, a really good asset pack for Planet Coaster, and adds a lot of things that I think we could have used earlier, and hopefully you guys can enjoy now. First thing, these are all the wall pieces, miscellaneous wall pieces that you can add to your structures. There's a lot of these kind of very vintage, kind of fairground paintings, kind of attraction paintings to kind of bring you in. And I love the art style on all of these. They look aged and weathered, and overall the color palette being very pastel, very beautiful looking. A lot of additional wall trims are being added onto here. From like wooden wall trims or trims that might work really well in other themes, you know, and then, you know, very detailed kind of floral patterns here. I think these things are actually more referencing, let's see, Baroque period. Yes, I just want to make sure I would get that correct. And, you know, columns. There's actually some painted wooden columns. Now, we do have painted wooden assets already. However, this came up with the vintage pack when I did a search for it. So I think these are new, and they just look really nice. Some nice little spire bits there, some additional columns and pillars. Very smooth Baroque style pillars, because the Baroque period's kind of reimagining a little bit of the Renaissance and just turning that dial up to 11 when it comes to details on them. So new columns to use. I'm just really happy that we have some more round columns, because that was kind of missing heavily in a lot of the structures already. Very large base structures to use as foundational elements. Elements that you can kind of raise things off the ground, put a path underneath here, and then a bunch of rooftop kind of spires, so we don't have to hand make every single one of the spires types anymore or anything like that. I will, however, say that these pieces, as nice as they look, they are a little plain, but luckily you can add anything you want to them, whether any of the trim pieces or custom make your trim pieces. Maybe use them as templates for your own spires and go from there. There's even a nice new tile set for a roof piece here. Very, very good looking. We got 10 walls and things like this. Some new archways. Now these, I think, are Baroque archways as well. And this would look beautiful in like a subway station. Like, put this as trim on the front entryway of like a subway station, and it really kind of fits that style of art there that you can see. So, moving on, we got more miscellaneous signs and pointers for things, extra balcony elements, opening and closing doors, which can come apart, so you can kind of just leave them open if that's something you want as well. And then, of course, we have the kind of pre-made structures. There's 3 pre-made structures. We got some sort of Planet Coaster entryway here, some shops and stalls, and just overall Baroque kind of style buildings that very gaudy looking you know, full of just details and little things. Even though the Planet Coaster kind of stock buildings are kind of plain and maybe a little repetitive for some, you know, for those of us who don't want to spend a lot of time building, they are great to just kind of slap down and fill in large swaths of area, for sure. So, and these actually come in separate buildings as well, so they're very easy to edit. Like, you can knock off a wall, move a section around. It's very interesting that some of these blueprints are very much modular like that. So, moving on, let's go over here to the scenery items. The scenery items, there's a lot of these as well, and as much as I want to go into detail about and look at all of these, I think for time reasons we're trying to keep this a little short and concise, and hopefully you can kind of go in and take a look yourselves at a little bit of a closer detail. So there's a bunch of new benches and a couple new trash can variants, which are really good. Very nice plain benches that we really needed it for a long time. Anything to increase kind of the roadside and sidewalk side details, really good. The new parcel, a couple new trash cans, very good looking. I think most, if not basically everything here can be recolored. So, you know, color them to fit the theme that you want, and off you run. We got centerpieces here, which again can be recolored, and these are just wood carvings that you can put in gardens or areas around major entryways. We get new lighting fixtures, very, very good lighting fixtures, I must say. You know, we would have to create these kind of ourselves. These by themselves, I think, are a really good reason to get the pack, because making these on your own can be a little frustrating. Here's the door again. As you can see, it does open and close. We got a nice musical kind of organ of some kind, playing music and going through different panels here. An animatronic balloon that will go up and down. Very nice looking. Another small type of generator, which looks very antique and vintage. And then a whole bunch of trapeze artists. Look at all of these guys having a great time over here on this section. Now, I know Bo Merritt is doing a lot with trapeze herself, so hopefully she was able to assist them out a lot, and maybe give her some, or give them some great information on a lot of these maneuvers, and maybe she did some motion cap. I don't know, I haven't talked to her about it. I would like to probably know that for sure as soon as possible, but you can do your own trapeze arts, the big tent events in this pack, so that's pretty neat. Over on the left, more animatronics, and this is actually probably one of my favorite animatronics. We got a little barbershop quartet kind of going through the Planco soundtrack, and it sounds really good. It's just, I don't know, I just smile listening to this kind of stuff. Little signs to use, very kind of standard stuff. You can put images on them, so these would be great for like queue times, little message boards, maybe menus, things of that nature. We got a new vehicle to use, a nice vintage vehicle. Little entryways, you know, waving hands and clowns, banners, things like that. Archways with lights, a nice new large flat gazebo where you could possibly do like band shows and stuff. In fact, that quartet would look really nice in here. We got a whole lot more fences to work with. Low-lying rope fences, garden fencing, thicker standard wood fencing, some wrought iron stuff, fairground fencing. It's just, I'm just happy to see a lot of this for variety, so we don't have to hand make all of this. So all of this saves part count, and really that's the nice thing about all of these DLCs, is that it creates assets for us to use, so that we don't have to. So that we should put that on a shirt. You create the thing that so we don't have to. We got a nice classic ticket booth here for rides. You know, this, to me, this makes me think of Roller Coaster Tycoon a whole lot. You know, just a classic pitched roof with a stand for your controllers to sit in. Very classy. A whole bunch of little shapes and doodads to use. Some of these will probably be a little bit more useful than others. However, there's a lot of shapes that are pretty nice. A lot of these like curling tips for, say, even the ship that we were working on today. I'd say today. I'm recording this on a Sunday, by the way. To what looks almost like to be paddles for a pinball machine, to round bits, just some more specialized art shape type details to use, and I'm happy to receive these as well. Over here, there's a new category in the scenery elements for planters, so we can actually do some proper planters here. We've been kind of waiting for these for a little while. We've been using, you know, either custom boxes or other things for the longest time, and we actually have a planters category, and they look nice. They're just nice stone kind of urns to hold flowers. We do get some round ones that you can put in trees near the pathing. I think I'm gonna have to use this a lot. I would say in Alpine Odyssey, but that's DLC free. We get some tree boxes. This is a common thing in parks and zoos, to kind of keep the trees, you know, the base of them clear, and a nice looking with just some decoration around the trunk. And then we have big bold lettering. They have the whole alphabet. I only put down 3. I'm not going to put down all 26. That seems a little excessive, I would say, over there. Over here is all the pre-made assets that come with the pack. There are a few things in here that I noticed that were not in over here, and I kind of noticed that when we put it down. Mainly, it comes down to that there are modular planters, these kind of along here, and these can also be expanded to create, say, a trapeze act over some dirt. So, you know, I'm happy that we actually got some mulch, some proper flower bedding to use in our parks, and it just all looks really good. I think there's some new flower types as well in here. I'm not 100% sure, because when I was doing some filtering, I didn't see them in there, but they look new to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and show them off as well. Some rose bushes, very nice floral decors. Oh, looks like lilies over there. We got sprinkler systems as well, and it's just all coming together quite nicely here in Planet Coaster. Look at that. Look at all those flowers. I think the ladies there is gonna love this pack. This is her pack all the way. If we come over here, you can see some of the VFX items that are gonna be in the park. They are kind of big. Things from like falling leaves, which are really cool. Kind of gives you some nice atmospheric movement of things. You have like dandelion seeds in the air as well. Those of you who have allergies, I apologize. This pack is probably dangerous for you. We get some petals. These look to be cherry blossom petals. So I think Sobret might like this for his Japanese garden area that he's making. We also have some insects now. So we have some butterflies, some beautiful butterflies in the sky. These are just flat 2D images that are just floating about. We have fireflies. You can kind of see them gathering here. And at nighttime, they do light up, which looks beautiful. There's some flies to use. And there should also be some bees. Yes, there is a bee. They're the hardest ones to see in my experience, the bees are. And I think that about covers that. Over here, there are the 4 new shops and facilities in the pack. We have the fortune teller, the gumball machine, the claw machine, and a candy machine, popcorn machine here. And just lay them down. It looks like they kind of are at the edge of pathing, very similar to, say, like the ATM. I'm sure they function the same way. And then all of these are the predetermined shop buildings over here. So you can see a lot. You can go like really hardcore carnival look, more Baroque, maybe more traditional, slightly European-esque looks to them. They have some more ticket booths over here with a whole bunch of staff that I didn't know I had. They are turning into zombies, it seems. Ooh, is that a new vine crawler? I think it is. I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. There's so many things about DLCs that I haven't used personally in all of them, but it looks like it. It looks good. They all look so good. Anyways, let's go over to the main attraction for most people when it comes to Planet Coaster, the rides. It always comes down to the rides. There are five new flat rides here. A lot of them, as you can see, are very kind of basically themed, kind of fairground-esque. They do have lighting on a lot of the struts and stuff, so I don't know how well people like that or not, but we have kind of everything covered from kind of these test flight going around in a circle in a plane, a little small Ferris wheel like ride here called Round the World. They're sitting in like little egg containers going around. Very, very cool. Over here, this is just loop-to-loop, so it looks like it's just going to rotate all the way around. In fact, we're going to go ahead and test these one at a time. I think that would be good. Oh! The engine sound is pretty on point. It definitely sounds like a fairground. Like something that you're just like, I don't know if I trust that, but you can see it goes all the way around like that and builds up speed, and off it goes. Over here we have the Hurricane, which looks great. Very classic siren sound, dinging off of those to make sure no one gets swept or hit in the head, it looks like. Right there. The sound on this is really good as well. This is the Centrum 1, just like that. And so this just kind of spins around, pushes you back towards the wall. It looks like it might even lift up based on the hinges. I don't know. Let's watch it for a second here. Let's see if it actually does that. This looks like a hinge to me. Yep. There it goes. So it's going to lift you up into the sky. So that's pretty cool. I wouldn't ride this. This would make me very sick. And, you know, just like most rides in Planet Coaster, very much recolorable, I believe. Yeah. You got a lot of color palette options on this one. If we come back over here, I do want to see the Ferris wheel go. Just a little bit. There we go. So you can see they kind of rock back and forth, 2 people per seat. That's a very fast Ferris wheel. That is pretty fast. And then over here, test flight, kind of doing this a little poorly. I just love the Frontier sound design is so good and so on point. As you watch these planes kind of go around, it looks like they have some sort of control with the wings, which will probably dictate how you spin and rotate through the air. Some of them flying upside down, why not? It would be fun. Looks cool, I like it. And then we have one of the new coasters over here. Now, I didn't put down just the stations, I wanted to put down the pre-built coasters. This is like a bobsled coaster. So left hill, go up and down and around, and then another left hill, and you kind of do the same thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and hop in this. It's called the Twistin Twirl. And let's go ahead and see what it looks like on the inside. I've never actually been on one of these. The front of the car looks like a little bit of a plane, which is pretty cool for me. I'm not well versed in theme parks, as you guys know, so I'm not going to be able to tell you what parks have these type of things in real life. I have seen them though. Alright, so we're off the track. It sounds good. Sounds pretty cool too. So it's just going to pick up speed and just bobsled its way through here. Nice. Now I don't know if it's actually physics driving this ride. I hope it is. I think it would be really cool. It might even change depending on how many people might be in the car. That might be cool too. Or it might be more like a hidden rail system that this thing is on. And then go up the next little left hill. Very beautiful wooden metal struts off of this thing. Looks very reminiscent of a Woody. But it just has this solid track, which is very beautiful to me. And we head back down again. It's pretty quiet. I do think these are a little bit louder in real life. They rattle a lot, I think. Yeah, and there's usually like bumpers to make sure you don't go off the track or anything like that. And the big finish. Boom. Just like that. And then into the station. You can see the station arches there that I was kind of talking about earlier. So this is the new roller coaster. Number 1, the Twistin Twirl. I think it's actually called something else. It is called, in reality, it's called the bobsled. Okay, and then we have a new wooden roller coaster as well, the Uthris. So Surf Avenue, obviously they're trying to probably reference some boardwalk coasters with these. So this is just another woody, which is totally fine. Wooden coasters are nice. I just like them adding cars, and look at how old and beat up this car looks. No seat padding, just hard plastic all the way. It's probably going to be a bumpy ride. Some wheels to push the cart along, and then here we go. Chain lift up. I'm probably just going to speed this up a bit. There we go. Up at the top now. Great views all around. Pretty steep drop. In fact, I'm surprised I had enough momentum to get back up this hill. No banking. I don't know if that's on purpose, or if this has maybe very limited banking, just to be a little bit more rough on purpose as well. Definitely cool looking. Just really nice to see all these supporting structures. And that is that coaster right there. So, let's get to one of the things you guys have been wanting and waiting for all episode. First things first, I will show you guys nighttime, just so you can kind of see what these look like at nighttime with all the lights on. Looking pretty good, I would say. In fact, over here, you can kind of see how the fireflies look at night. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. A lot of lights. Very, very classy look to this whole area. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about how you guys can win a copy of the Vintage DLC for free, brought to you by Frontiers. And thanks again for them to giving me access to this a little bit early, and thanks for giving me a copy to give away to you guys. So go ahead and just leave a comment down below for this video was rather vintage. Just go ahead and mention how vintage this video was, and you'll get entered into winning a copy of the DLC. If you guys want and enjoy this kind of stuff and you're excited for it, let me know that as well. What's your favorite thing to see in this pack? Me personally, it's the street lights. It has to be the street lights. I'm tired of making a whole lot of custom ones that look exactly like those. I want to be able to use that. They look great. With that, this episode is over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.